Like in real life, even the most notorious characters in Squid Game have good moments. From Mr Poopy Pants to the Power Slap champion recruiter, in this video, we'll go through something good about each of the show's baddies. Starting with the officer, the front, daddy's right-hand man, wearing a black jumpsuit to stand out from the rest. He ran the guards with military-level precision during the 2024 games. When players started revolting, the officer kept his cool under the immense pressure. Instead of running away and being a coward, he continued commanding the guards even as everything went to hell around him. That's some serious mental toughness, even if used for evil. The officer also had a past connection with Kang No-yeol, having given her a chance to start over when she was in a tough spot.
죄송합니다. 바로 차 옮길게요.
강노을 씨.
(1994년 6월 25일) 강노을.
Despite his involvement in organ trafficking, he used a professional approach with his corrupt side hustle. In a different life, his attention to detail might have made him a great business leader instead of a death game villain. This isn't a bad start, but not everybody was so twisted. See Captain Park. This weathered fisherman at first seemed like Junho's helpful ally in searching for the Squid Game's island. But this salty sea dog was hiding some major secrets. Captain Park played dumb perfectly, calling drones drongs to appear clueless about tech. All along, he was secretly working for the frontman, even killing a mercenary who caught him tampering with the search team's equipment. Despite his betrayal, Captain Park showed a crazy level of loyalty to whoever was paying him off. In a world where most people only look out for themselves, his commitment to keeping his bargain, however terrible, shows a dark form of integrity. And I mean, his acting skills weren't bad either. He had everyone convinced he was just a simple fisherman when he was a double agent the whole time. Outside of these though, he's just evil, doing everything he can to sabotage Junho and evade justice for the games. Even though he's pretty messed up, he's nowhere near as bad as the next group of villains, the VIPs. These gold-masked rich men were straight up sickening. They treated human suffering as entertainment, gambled on people's lives, and displayed perverted and predatory behavior toward the staff. The Panther Mask VIP and Deer Mask VIP were particularly gross in their views of people and complete lack of empathy. Finding something positive about these guys is really tough, but their financial contributions did create jobs for hundreds of staff members. The guards, servants, and other employees all received steady income in an otherwise brutal economy. Plus, without their funding, the games wouldn't exist, which means the eventual winner who desperately needed the money wouldn't have received it either. Sure, hundreds died for one person to win, but that winner did get a life-changing sum of cash that no bank or legitimate business would ever have given them. That was a strength. But not all of the villains were among the staff and sponsors. Thanos. No, not the purple dude with the fancy glove. This Thanos was actually a rapper who lost 500 million to won on a crypto scam called Dalmatian. With debt hitting 1.19 billion won, he was about to jump off a bridge before a game recruiter gave him one last shot. Even with all his drug-fueled rage, Thanos showed some heart for his squad. He hugged Min-soo when he thought the little guy died and actually felt bad after kicking Kyung-soo to the curb during Mingle. Before the games wrecked him, Mr. T had some legit rap skills, placing second in rap battlegrounds. In his final moments, he showed his true self, just a dude who wanted to make his mom proud and fix his massive mistakes in life. That's more humanity than some players had, but he still led a nasty gang of bullies. And our next player is one of his close bully buddies, Nam-gyu. Working with Thanos, Nam-gyu was one of the most ruthless competitors in the games. Before joining, he was a club promoter who lost over 300 million won in a cryptocurrency scam. This motivated his brutal quest for revenge against Myung-gi, the crypto influencer who ruined him. Even this crazy revenge-chasing guy had a few redeeming qualities though. Nam-gyu showed potential as an entrepreneur in his previous life as a club promoter, building connections and hustling in the nightlife scene. If he'd applied those business instincts to legitimate enterprises instead of getting into dodgy opportunities, he might have done a lot better. But what do you get when you throw an anxiety-ridden player into deathly games surrounded by thugs? Min-soo. This scared little dude entered the games after getting screwed by a rental scam. He spent most of the competition getting bullied by Nam-gyu and Thanos, but beneath all that anxiety, Min-soo actually had a decent heart. He was the only one worried about Kyung-soo after the Thanos kicked him from their group, and he even found his backbone when it counted, switching his vote to X despite being faced with pressure. Sure, he betrayed Sammy in that rock, paper, scissors moment, but there wasn't any real hate behind it, just pure fear.
나랑 가자.
이기는 배우를 편 안 내면 술래 가위바위보. 오, 민수 이 새끼 가위를 수. 민수, you win. Come on, my boy. 민수 우리 편.
When she got killed later, Min-soo completely broke down, proving he actually cared and felt bad about his moment of weakness. That's more heart than most folks showed in these bloody games. But our next contestant was on a whole different wavelength. Seon-yo. This spooky shaman lady joined the games after losing a mountain of dough, but her spiritual gifts didn't help her win back those funds. Despite her mystical career, Seon-yo was straight up insufferable. She was nothing more than an arrogant, ego-tripping drama queen who thought she was hot stuff because she could chat with the spirit world. Well, apparently anyway. But even this walking nightmare had some talents. She could read people like nobody's business, immediately clocking that Gi-hun had some experience with the games.
456번 놓지 못한 것들이 너무 많아. 떠날 수도 머물 수도 없구나. 용을 써도 소용없어. 네 팔자가 그래. 9천을 떠도는 사람들의 원혼이 네 머리 위에 앉아있어. 네가 여기까지 온 것도 네 뜻이 아니야. 그 원혼들이 널 끌고 온 거야.
Her loyalty values were also no joke. When her team left her behind during Mingle, she cut ties faster than you can say bad karma. One thing we do know, however, is that not every villain in these games was quite so spiritually connected. Jang Deok-soo. This gangster with a snake tattoo was a brutal thug who formed his own violent alliance, betrayed allies without hesitation, and even killed several fellow players in cold blood. Deok-soo represented the most selfish, violent approach to survival, which led him to be hated by almost everybody. But even this hardened criminal had his little moments. His brutal upbringing shaped him into the man he became, suggesting that society failed him long before he failed society. He showed some strong leadership skills, forming and maintaining a powerful alliance that lasted through multiple games. Sure, he led through fear and intimidation, but he still had the ability to organize and strategize through the crazy games. Gangsters are one thing, but the smartest villain was definitely on another level: the frontman. The front daddy, real name Jang and In-ho, oversaw the deadly games with raw precision. He was even willing to shoot his own brother without hesitation. And kept running the brutal competition that claimed hundreds of lives each year. What good can we find in this crazed, masked mastermind? Well, before becoming the frontman, In-ho was actually a police officer. This shows he once dedicated his life to protecting others and upholding justice rather than ending lives. More importantly, he was also a previous winner of the games who somehow rose through the ranks to run the whole operation. In a twisted and messed up kind of way, the frontman gave contestants a form of equality that society never offered them. In his mind, the games provided a level playing field where everyone had the same chance regardless of their background, something these desperate contestants never experienced in the real world, especially with their debts. He also showed genuine respect for the rules, insisting on fairness in all challenges. When one guard was caught cheating with certain players, the big daddy didn't hesitate to execute him immediately.
가서 그 얼굴부터 씻자고.
His twisted moral code might be warped, but at least he stood by his principles of equal opportunity in his deadly playground. He was also super charming, earning Gi-hun's trust with ease when he blended in as player 001. He wasn't the first to pull that move though, so we need to pay respect to the OG. Oh, Il-nam. The reveal that the sweet old man was actually the mastermind behind the entire operation might be one of TV's greatest twists. Il-nam created a deadly playground for his own entertainment and deceived everyone with his frail, helpless act. So deep was his cover that he was even willing to wet himself like a widow baby. Even though he was the ultimate villain, Il-nam showed some genuine moments of humanity. His friendship with Gi-hun seemed legit, especially during the marble game where he gifted his opponent victory.
가져. 자네 거야. 우리는 깐부잖아. 기억 안 나? 우리 손가락 걸고 깐부 맺은 거.
He demonstrated real joy in simple pleasures like the taste of food and childhood games, which reminded him of the past. In his twisted mind, Il-nam made the games to give desperate people a legitimate chance at changing their lives, something society had denied them. His final bet with G-Money about human nature shows he still held onto some hope for humanity, despite everything. But we can't forget the man who put everything in motion for our main character, the recruiter. This mysterious but handsome man preyed on desperate people, recruiting them for the deadly games through manipulative gambling challenges.
선생님, 저랑 게임 한번 하시겠습니까?
요즘 상술이 아주 다양하네. 아저씨 사정도 지금 딱해 보이긴 하는데 내가 지금 아저씨
딱지치기 해보셨죠? 저랑 딱지치기를 하셔서 한 번 이기실 때마다 10만 원을 드리겠습니다.
He specifically targeted people at their lowest point when they were most vulnerable, leading most to accept his offers. However, the recruiter never forced anyone to participate. He always gave clear choices and respected the decisions of the players, even letting Gi-hun refuse participation. His slap game, although painful and manipulative, did give players a chance to win money without strings attached. He also kept his word. When Gi-hun won their simple gambling game, he received his money without any tricks.
너 이리 와. 나 면상이래. 이씨. 너 이거 안 놔, 이 새끼?
10만 원입니다. 축하드립니다.
One of the most controversial villains is saved for last, though, and he didn't even start out as one. Cho Sang-woo, everyone's favorite fallen SNU business grad, might not seem evil at the start of Season 1, but his emotional journey from Gi-hun's childhood friend to cold-blooded killer reveals his darker nature. He betrayed Ali during the marble game, pushed the glassmaker to his death, and even killed Se-byuk when she was already wounded. A coward's path to victory. But we need to remember that Sang-woo's motivations were pretty complex. Before the games, he was using his elderly mother's house and business as collateral for his failed investments. His desperation came from a place of shame and a desire to make things right for the woman who sacrificed everything for his education. The guy was also undeniably brilliant, using his intelligence to navigate the games and keep himself alive until the end. His strategic thinking helped the team during tug of war, saving G-Money's life in the process.
다들 정신 차리고 내 말 들어. 내가 신고하면 딱 세 발만 앞으로 가는 거야.
앞으로 가라고! 미쳤어!
저쪽을 너무 때려야 돼.
개소리 하지 마!
해봅시다.
안 돼! 나 못해!
못하면 죽어. 재생하는 거야. 하나, 둘, 셋.
In his final moments, Sang-woo shows real redemption by taking his own life instead of killing Gi-hun, ensuring his childhood friend would win the prize money and achieve freedom. He even asked that some of that money go to help his mother, showing that despite his ruthless actions, he never lost sight of why he entered the games in the first place. Finding a few good qualities in Squid Game's villains doesn't make their actions any less horrific. They still did terrible things, but a broken clock is right twice a day, and sometimes the most evil of people can do a good deed. If you want to see more Squid Game content and theories, subscribe and click the video on screen now.